Standard number 6, W. Goodell. Today we're going to talk about a gentleman named Robert Kraft, the owner of the New England Patriots. We're going to do a little biography from the part of his life till present. You know, since the part that makes him relevant. And when I say relevant, I mean the man is worth $6 billion, so of course he's relevant regardless. But I mean what makes him, where people know him and his notoriety. There's a lot of rich guys, no one knows their names and their faces. Robert Kraft, people see him, they definitely know his face. He's becoming more popular as time goes on, and definitely popular after this latest fiasco. Anyway, Robert Kraft, like I was saying, he's 77-year-old owner of the New England Patriots. He's been the owner since 1994. Before that, he was a season ticket holder since 1970. He's always been interested in sports teams and competition. He owns the New England Revolution of the Major League Soccer, MLS. He has a video game team, and it's in a video game league. The video game league's called the Overwatch League, and Kraft has one of the teams in the league. So, I don't even know how that works, but I know there's video game leagues, professional video game leagues. You guys seen them. And Robert Kraft has a team in that. Big sports fan. He's the owner of the Kraft Group. And of course, like I said, the Patriots and Foxborough. He has a big stake in Foxborough, the stadium, Gillette Stadium. Robert Kraft married for a long time to his late wife Myra. Myra passed in 2011. He was married with her since the 70s or 60s. He's known her. She passed from cancer in 2011. During that time, when she was sick, Kraft got, he said that Donald Trump used to call him a lot, like all the time. After she died, he said Donald Trump called him like every week, see how he was doing, came to see him, so he said he got cool with him. So that's the relationship between those two. Robert Kraft, when I talk about his relationships, he has a lot of famous friends from all walks of life. Makes him an interesting fella and a very polarizing fella, especially now as that's starting to happen, He has been through a lot of controversy as far as the National Football League's been concerned. His team, the Patriots, are of course one of the greatest sports teams of all time, and when that happens, you're gonna face a lot of controversy. That things like that there's always controversy and they have had their share. In 1997, he won a tampering case against the New York Jets with their coach Bill Parcells leaving the Jets, and the Jets had to give up picks because the Jets were trying to, they were tampering with him. Y'all guys know the deal, tampering. That's the word of the year this year. And it was going down then, so Parcells ended up going to the Jets. The Jets had to give the Patriots picks and compensation for going under, breaking the rules to contact him. In turn, Parcells would go on and steal their player, Curtis Martin. The Jets and Patriots have had their rivalry. And the reason I bring that up is to talk about Spygate, when the Jets blew the whistle on the Patriots. The Spygate situation went down, and what Spygate was the Patriots were accused of having hidden cameras and taping their opponents' practices, and so having the proverbial drop on their opponents. And obviously that's illegal, and they got caught. And a lot of people, was a big uproar about it. This is a long time ago. You guys remember. If you do, you don't, whatever. But there was a big uproar about it, and what ultimately had happened was the Patriots got what many people thought was a slap on the wrist. They got I believe it was a $250,000 fine. I think Belichick got fined $500,000, the coach, because they put it on him. He took the blame. And this is on the Kraft's watch. This is his team, the Patriots, So this is basically why people feel the way they do about them. And he got fined. I think they lost maybe a pick. I'm not sure. It was something minuscule compared to what later would happen with them. years later, we're down the road with the Deflategate. And in my opinion, taping practices is way worse than deflating a football. But they got fined, and it was the Jets who blew the whistle. Eric Mangini, the former Patriot and Jets coach, was the person who called league offices and said, "Hey, listen, these guys are doing this," and so with that, it takes you to where they have to be punished, and I told you guys the punishment. With that punishment coming from Roger Goodell, a man who was cool, or should I say friends with Robert Kraft. Once again, I said Robert Kraft very influential. Robert Kraft has a lot of friends, and I'm going to tell you more about him as we go on in this video. And then he would consider Goodell a friend. Robert Kraft has said publicly, call people my friend. This is my friend. Robert Kraft is a very, passionate person when it comes to his friendships. They're very, he makes that known. At least it seems like to me that's the energy he gives off. It's a very intimate energy with his friend. That's my friend. So he turns around. Yeah. So Roger Goodell, got the job as commissioner in the NFL with the help from Robert Kraft. Robert Kraft was very influential. He had a lot of pull, and him along with Jerry Jones and other owners lobbied to get Roger Goodell that job, and he did. And obviously this job has been Roger Goodell, the most powerful man, one of the most powerful men in America. He's able to do what he wants with that job because he makes so much money for the owners. So anyway, it was Roger Goodell's job to punish Robert Kraft, and I told you the guys the punishment. It was seen as lenient, and on top of that, Roger Goodell had the tapes, the alleged spy tapes that were alleged to have happened that no one's ever seen, at least no one publicly. They're not on the internet. They're nowhere. Only Roger Goodell's seen them, and they've been destroyed. And a lot of people think that Robert Kraft and his friendship with Roger Goodell was able to get those tapes destroyed. It's real like CIA type shit. Shit's crazy. The NFL is crazy, man. This shit is deep, man. Like the politics and the fuckery. The NFL has investigators. They got spies. Believe it or not, this is an organization that's always under the eyes of the public. For scrutiny and critique and critique. And Goodell is a very sensitive person. Roger Goodell handles his league like that, and runs it with iron fist, and continues to make the owners money. So anyway, it seemed as if he went lenient on his friend Robert Kraft. Roger Goodell used to be at Robert Kraft's parties, man. And like I said, Robert Kraft he's a socialite almost. Especially after the passing of his wife, he throws a lot of parties, young people, OGs, everybody's there, from Roger Goodell to the Migos will be at his party. It's crazy. And Roger Goodell used to be at those parties, a couple of those parties. He doesn't, like I said, used to. After that, after the tapes were destroyed, owners complained to Roger Goodell about Robert Kraft and how you gonna destroy the tapes. This is ridiculous. And mind you, at this time, the Patriots already had 2 Super Bowls. Okay, no, I'm sorry. They had 3 Super Bowls at this time already. They had 3. So they had won about 3 championships in about 6 years. So people were easily, they want to take them down. So the owners are like, these guys are winning championships and they're cheating. Fuck this. This is bullshit. So they complained about Robert Kraft. Oh, this is bullshit. So they gave the commissioner a hard time. That's your boy. You taking care of him. So, boom. After that, we have Deflategate. And Deflategate happened years later in 2015, right? With in the 2014 or 15. Well, they were playing the Colts in that championship game. I believe it was 15. They were playing the Colts in that championship game, and the Colts eventually would accuse them of deflating the footballs, and it was proven, and they had a whole investigation. It was ridiculous. But ultimately, the Patriots were under fire again, and people wanted them to be punished. The other owners wanted them punished. Fans want him punished. They already hated now. People going nuts. So finally, the word comes down, and they get fined $1 million. Yeah, they get fined $1 million. They get Brady gets 4 games. I think they lost 3 draft picks. They suspended Brady. They got slammed, and Robert Kraft was furious. And a lot of people think that was like the makeup call. You know what I mean? With Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell knew, this time, damn, man, this guy got in trouble again. That's my man. But last time I held him down, these motherfuckers watching me. Goodell's like, fuck it. Goodell gonna take care of Goodell. So he slams Robert Kraft and his organization. After that, Robert Kraft was furious, and his relationship with Goodell, was on the rocks. Roger Goodell later on says that he's still cool with Robert Kraft. Robert Kraft was like, yo, this isn't right. He never, it simmered over the years. It calmed down. The Patriots have been winning championships since Deflategate. I think they've won 3. Yeah, I think so. All of the championships came after Deflategate, the last 3. The first 3 came before Spygate, and the last 3 came after Deflategate. Oh, wow. So anyway, now, we're here where Robert Kraft is going off. He's popping mad shit, whatever. And it's gonna take us to where we are with when it's gonna come time for them to punish him again for this latest situation in Jupiter at the spa, the soliciting situation where he's supposed to have been getting his monkey pulled, trying to get that monkey that banana. So he got caught up in that. So but back to go backwards a little bit. Robert Kraft is a very interesting fellow because, like I said, who his friends are. Earlier I mentioned his friendship with President Donald Trump. His relationship with Donald Trump, I mentioned earlier. He also donated to the Barack Obama campaign 2 times in the 2008 election and the 2012 election. So like I said, he's the kind of guy, he's just going to be cool with everyone. I don't care, that's my man's. That's my man's too. He's one of those guys, People don't really love guys like that. But I think the guys, I like the guy. At the end of the day, overall, I like the guy. He like I said, he has a lot of famous friends. He's been friends with John Bon Jovi over 20 years. That's his guy. His friendship with Michael Rubin. Michael Rubin turned around and introduced Michael Rubin, the owner of the Sixers. He turned around, young Michael Rubin. He turned around and introduced Bob Kraft to rapper Meek Mill. And now Meek Mill and Bob Kraft is supposed to be best of friends. Robert Kraft always, Meek's one of my best friends. Another guy, he's a big good friend. He calls his friend. He appreciates him. After Myra's death, it's noticeable that he's in the public eye more. They winning championships. They're partying with Cardi, they doing, his face is known. He was always, as time when he spoke up on a lot of situations. He spoke up on the Kaepernick situation. He issued a statement saying after Donald Trump attacked the NFL players and called them son of a bitches and all of that, Kraft turned around and said, nah, Donald Trump is wrong for that, and he issued a statement like he wasn't with it, and like I said, even though he says, yeah, I'm cool with you, he's gonna speak his mind, he gonna be real. Nah, I like that about him. And he was like, nah, he's wrong for that, he shouldn't have said that, blah. Then he turned around, he said that he would sign Cap next year. He's interested in signing him. He might, he also turned around and then he's also been involved in prison reform program. He got with the Nets owner, the Nets partial owner, the 49% owner, and he got with Jay-Z and Meek Mill and Michael Rubin, and they have a prison reform program, and that they started this year, where they're trying to, and then they're trying to get a lot of guys who have questionable cases or guys who are pending, who are wrongfully accused but are still in the system. Because it takes some time, even though you're wrongfully accused, and they find out you're wrongfully accused, you don't just walk out that day. Yeah, they still will hold your ass in there. It's just silly. And Robert Kraft, I guess his relationship with Meek makes him, make him sensitive to this. He seems like a decent guy. He was linked to Ricky Noel Lander in 2012. He started to be seen with her. A year after his wife passed away, he started trying to pick up the pieces, and she was a fitness girl, fitness expert or whatever, and she was like 29, 30, whatever, under 30, whatever. He's like 45 years older than her, and he's hanging out with her, whatever. And 5 years later, she has a baby. Bob says it's not his baby, but he gonna take care of the baby and all that. Yeah. All right. Anyway, so now he beefing with his kids about the shit or whatever. I mean, he's in that age, 77-year-old man, guys. He's a regular guy, man. What do you want from this guy, man? You know what I mean? Shit. This guy's a regular guy, a rich guy, but he's a regular guy, yo. He with these young guys, man. He wants to feel good, man. He was with his wife for that long time. He lost the love of his life. What do you want from the man? Yeah, he's supposed to be in the salon, or in the spa rather, doing whatever he was accused of doing. The sleazy acts that they claim. So anyway, the people are asking. The people want him punished. Some people want him punished because they're trafficking victims in there. This guy went there. He's contributing to the. They said they have a videotape of Robert Kraft. I don't want to see that videotape of Robert Kraft getting right. I don't. They said the cops got a videotape. So anyway, they said it. So I guess they put the tapes. They planted the tapes. I don't even know how the cops got the tapes in there. I don't even know if they're legal too. But there's supposed to be police tapes in the spa, and they said there 2 different times that Robert Kraft went in there and received his favors, his sexual favors, a little wug and tug, a little woogie woogie. So, they said that the woman that the 2 different women he's seen on the 2 different occasions, one of them was in their mid-30s, and the other one was in their early 50s. So, I mean, that doesn't mean you can't be trafficked because you're old, but, what are you gonna do, man? It's like, I'm not, this is a very sensitive topic, yo, and it's a very polarizing topic, and the topic is very gender sensitive because guys might think, a lot of guys, I don't want to, might think one thing, then you talk about women looking like, so it's like I said, you can't, I'm not saying he shouldn't be punished, yes, but it's going to be really interesting to see how the NFL handles, or when I say the NFL, is Roger Goodell, how he handles, because he's been given the authority to punish whoever. They gave him that power back during the last collective bargaining, or 2 collective bargaining agreements ago. He has the power. That's why when stuff happens, like whether it's Ray Rice or Hunt or any of these players and their altercations or their domestic violence cases and whatever they're getting into, Aaron Hernandez's. That was Robert Kraft. I mean, Robert Kraft had to go. See, I brought up Aaron Hernandez. Robert Kraft was brought to trial he testified in the Hernandez homicide trial. You know, talking about he told the cops they had he told the court that Hernandez lied to him about what was going on with him and everything, so he had no idea. But he was there. He's always somewhere. He was in Russia. You know what happened in Russia? Vladimir Putin happened in Russia. Vladimir Putin is alleged to have stolen one of Bob Kraft's Super Bowl rings. Bob Kraft said when he was at a meeting in Russia, he was met Putin, you know, and he had his Super Bowl ring. He pulls it out and he shows it to Vladimir. He said Vladimir puts it in his pockets, and 2 KGB agents just whisk Putin away. And he's like, but my ring. Putin took his shit. But he says, Mr. Kraft would later say in 2013 that when he got his ring taken away, he was upset. You know, his name is on the ring and all that. Putin took his ring. And he's like, damn, you know, it's going to be on eBay or whatever. This is crazy, though. But Kraft was like, the White House called him. And the White House was like, listen, we don't want you telling the press that that Putin stole the ring. We want you to tell them that you gave it to him. And he said he didn't want to do that shit. You know, he was like, no, I don't want to tell them that. You know, this guy took my ring. And he said the White House just listened to him, ran, and I don't want to, you know. This is Robert Kraft, yo. And then after that, the White House, the guy on the other line on the White House says, all right, Mr. Kraft, you're going to do it, right? We're going to do what we told you. After they let him rant and let it out, and then he still said, all right, fine. And he made the press release that he gave Putin the ring. You know, later on he would say, no, that wasn't true. He said he didn't want to live that lie anymore. Sometimes you don't want to live that lie no more, baby. You know, he said Vladimir Putin, so the ring is in the Kremlin in Moscow. True story. So, anyway, man, shit, this is crazy, man, but, you know, it's crazy, you know, real interesting fella, man, you know, becoming very famous, and, you know, he's almost a socialite, almost, you know, businessman, entrepreneur, sports owner, very influential gentleman, you know, and as far as from my point of view, yo, he's a decent rich motherfucker, you know what I'm saying, rich dude. So, but you know, it's been, you know, it's gonna be interesting down the road here. But anyway, I wanna thank you guys for joining me. The Standard. Till we go see each other again. See you guys later.